The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, will have to stay in detention at the Department of State of Services, DSS, for a while, as the Supreme Court of Nigeria has ordered that he answers to the 7-count charge against him before Justice Binta Nyako at the Federal High Court, Abuja. Mr. Kanu was first arrested by security agencies in Lagos on October 14, 2015, and has been in detention since June 29, 2021. He was arraigned before the Federal High Court in Abuja on a 4-count charge bordering on treasonable felony, conspiracy to commit treasonable felony, terrorism, illegal importation of radio equipment, and defamation of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The charges were later amended to a 15-count charge on terrorism and membership of a proscribed group. In her ruling, the trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, dismissed 8 out of the 15-count charges, saying that Mr. Kanu had questions to answer in the remaining 7 charges. Dissatisfied with the ruling, Mr. Kanu appealed to the Court of Appeal. The appellate court dismissed the remaining charges and ordered that Mr. Kanu be released. In a twist, the appellate court granted a stay of execution of its judgment after the federal government had told the court that they were appealing to the Supreme Court. In its judgment, the Supreme Court held that no legislation in the country stripped the trial court of the jurisdiction to go ahead with Kanu's case, despite the illegal action that the federal government took against him. The apex court also berated the trial court for revoking Kanu's bail after he escaped to save his life, following the invasion of his home by security agents.
We had hoped that it would come our way, but it has gone the other way. It simply means that we have to go back to the High Court and get done with this quickly. We still have hope. We're not in despair.
This is victory to our administration of criminal justice, because it shows that once you are an accused person, once you are a defendant, no matter what excuse you want to bring to hide under the law to say that you should not be tried, the Supreme Court have expressly, unequivocally stated clearly that we don't have the legislation that will vitiate the court from trying a defendant that has committed a crime. You must be tried for every offense you have committed.
With this development, the trial of Nnamdi Kanu at the Federal High Court, Abuja, will resume at a date that will be communicated to other parties involved.
How do you open on these issues? There are those who are wondering how the legality of all of these issues, that have happened, the action of the governor, the action of the members of the State House of Assembly and all. How is government internalizing these issues?
Thank you very much. First of all, as elder statesmen, we are looking for how we can make peace in the state, because when there is peace, governance can take place. When there is peace, everybody will go freely. Unfortunately, Mr. President intervened, and Wike said, whatever Mr. President said is not going to abide by it. And ever since then, he has come out with thunder and brimstone. What he will do to this, what he will not do that. First, he asked the assembly members loyal to him to move to APC. And he's a lawyer, he ought to know that move will cost the assembly members their seat.
Mm-hmm. But you also
legal opinion has been
just a second, Mr. Sarigwe. Those legislators in the House of Assembly already came out to say it was a decision they took by themselves and they had nothing to do with the former governor and minister.
My brother, let me tell you, I am a father to some of them. I know they have their personal grievances, but they cannot do what they did without the support of the Godfather. They believe that Wike and Sim are having a problem, and because of that problem, they catch on to that problem to threaten him. Even before the impeachment saga, some commissioners were even threatening the governor, if you do rubbish, we will impeach you. There are all kinds of things. But the governor is a calm person, and I believe strongly that this one man who loves Wike so much and has done so much sacrifice for Wike. Before he became governor and after he became, up to today as we're talking, the governor is not disposed to making trouble with the minister. He still see him as father and son of relationship, as I speak to you today. So the minister, because of greed, because of one man who wants to get everything, the first thing he did was to take over the two parties, the APC and the PDP. I have never seen in this of politics, I've been in politics for 4 decades plus. I've never seen where one man belongs to the government in power and be in opposition. Never. This is the first time one will be in 2 political parties, and the parties cannot even discipline them.
But this is not the first time, Mr. Saraigwe, as I quipped when my colleague was introducing this topic, that we would have an opposition official in government, in a current government. The Lagos State governor at the time, that's the current president, when he was governor of Lagos State, had members of the PDP in his cabinet. And at that same time, during that same period, the Obasanjo government had a Bola Ige, at least, in his government, who was a member of the opposition. So it's not something new, is it?
There is difference between serving in the government and the controlling political parties. Today, as we speak, the PDP reports to Wike. The APC reports to Wike in Rivers State. It's different from him serving in the government of Tinubu. The chairman of the APC reports to Wike. The chairman of PDP reports to Wike. So these are clear facts. When somebody is in control, who wants power, it's not the best, and that is what is leading to some of these problems. The House of Assembly members, 27 of them, 2 understand came back. And from the way things are going, the Speaker has already declared a seat vacant. The Speaker recognized by law. I will tell you one Anambra State, when Jim Wobodo was going, he brought a successor. And when they disagreed, the successor had 6, Jim Wobodo had 20-something. Jim Wobodo had Nnamdi. Jim Wobodo tried to impeach Nnamdi. And Nnamdi with the 6, make sure they suspend the 27 of Jim Wobodo. And they did that till Jim Wobodo. Nnamdi was able to do his first turn and second turn and left. But in this instance, yeah, he did not only pull the House of Assembly members. I can assure you that more commissioners will leave because he appointed more than 80% of the commissioners in same government. Same with just the announcing the commissioners, but the man who recommended and ensured they are there was the governor. In addition, the governor also decide who gets what contract. And before now, you cannot go to government house unless the governor clears with you, clears with his predecessor to say, look, somebody's coming, can I see him or not? But what is the problem, the bone of the problem? Wike has come to tell the world that he's fighting Same because of Same wanting to take his structure. And what are the structures 6 months into elections, after elections? What are structures going to do? We are not close to election. So what are structures going to do? But I will tell you why he's talking about the structure, the type of structure he's talking about. Now, before Wike left government, the state was getting IDRO of over 10 billion. When he left, the IDRO came down to 6 billion. And the governor, who was the Accountant General when he was there, began to ask question, why is it coming down? And in the process, he engaged somebody who has passed through that process. So please look at the books for me. Why is my revenue coming down so that I can advise? Then the Commissioner of Finance got to Wike, and Wike got angry. This is a structure. Wike felt the money is collected from the IGR, this boy has come to stop it. And it's taking over 4 billion. So he has come to stop it. Secondly, all the Federation account allocation that is coming, Wike before he left, tie all of them to one project or the other and attach it to the bank. So when the money comes, the money goes to the bank collects whatever they want to collect and pay the contractors. Of course, there was no budgetary approval, except we don't even know how much was the contract. So when this governor now felt, how will I run a government? I don't have resources to run a government. He became hostile to the governor, and the governor said, okay, let me resign. If that is the case, the PDP elders prevailed on him not to resign, thinking it would be adverse all over. As soon as that came up, personally, I came on air and advised me on Wike, leave this boy alone to govern. Allow him, even if it's your son. I even went as far as giving the references. That look, Saraki and his father, Saraki, the father, Dr. Saraki, brought his son. But when his ideology and the son don't agree, the son told him, Baba, go arrest. That is father and son. So this you cannot bring somebody a governor. A seat, very important seat in Nigeria. That was the seat where Odili sat and almost became a president. That was the seat Amechi sat and connived with others to remove the sitting president. That is the seat Wike himself sat and became Superman. So you are asking somebody who's on that seat to be subservient. After the dynamite, it affected the structure, and the place is not conducive enough for them to use as House of Assembly. You know, we have what you call public liability in insurance. If a place is insured and you cannot be able to secure the people who are coming, a third party in particular, and there is an accident, you are liable to it. So if government felt that, look, this place is no longer conducive for them to run the house, well, they can provide an alternative place and demolish and build a new one. Don't forget that the governor is the custodian of all the properties of the government. And as a custodian, he knows what is best for every part of the government, every arm of the government. Okay. And so if they felt that the engineers have so advised them and it is the best interest of the public to rebuild the place, so be it. Okay. The legislature has no right to ask governor, oh, why do you destroy? Why do you demolish? Okay. Also, he has gone to court to say he wants to renovate the place. And if in the course of renovation, they still see that the best thing is to build a better house and demolish, so be it. So for me, I don't see anything wrong with the demolition of that assembly. Okay. That's one aspect of my answer. Okay. Staying with you, sir. I beg your pardon. You've asked people. I beg your pardon, Mr. Sarah. We have to manage our time. We're running out of time. Staying with you, what is the atmosphere like in the state in light of all these happenings, you know, and the rapidity with which they're happening? Well, Rivers people are not happy with the developments in the state. And 95% of the people are blaming the former governor. They are blaming him in the sense that he had his own 8 years, uninterrupted, nobody disturbed him. He is talking about ingratitude. He was the most man with ingratitude because Jonathan and his wife stood for him against the odds, against every odds that his own brother was just going. And the current man was just going, and he came in to stay. For him to come, there was a big fight. Jonathan and his wife stood. I know how many times Jonathan and his wife approached me to support. Advance Bepe was like the messenger they were using. And when I asked Mr. Jonathan, he said he's a friend to Advance Bepe, and Advance Bepe has spoken so much about him. But today, how did he pay back to Jonathan and his wife? What of the baby that was the errand boy? How did he address his case? He went to took the structure of PDP from Juyu Aki through go round Felix Ogua and Ibibia Walter, using them to lie before the court that they were duly elected in the convention, whereas that was a total lie.
Okay, well, Mr. Aransari, let's wrap up with solutions and reconciliation. You began, and I was very glad when you mentioned it, by saying that you're a statesman, and as statesman, you have to measure your responses to some of these issues. This is the reality we have on our hands now. For you, what is the way forward so that not only do we see things, do things look peaceful, but they are actually peaceful indeed, and it's not just something that looks it. What would be your recommendation in mending fences across board so that at the end of the day, it is the people of Rivers State that benefit?
Well, the Rivers State Elders Council and the leaders of thought have met, and they have decided to talk to both parties. They've written to Mr. Wike, they've also written to the governor with the view of hearing from both sides and maintain peace.
Okay.
So what we are saying, because the state is tensed up because of several factors, but we believe that we can maintain peace. Wike, as a governor, took over the civil service quarters, allocated it to his friends, sacked to remove them from their quarters. Permanent secretaries don't have more quarters again. Commissioners don't have quarters again. That is also another anger, and you can see the hand of Wike all over the place. Nobody is quarreling. He's the luckiest man who served 8 years, dashed Rivers people money, so much money, would nobody probing you.
So